Derived from the DC hardcore punk scene, then slowed and emotionalized by bands like Rites of Spring and Embrace, the first wave of emo would hit the west coast of America in the early 90s and spread out from there. In the mid-90s, the second wave would break, and bands like Cap'n Jazz, Mineral, and American Football would combine the sound with elements of indie and math rock, cementing the characteristics of the Midwest emo sound. But how do you write Midwest emo? And is it even possible to make Midwest emo when not being from the Midwest or in the Midwest? And how many times will I say Midwest emo in this video about Midwest emo? Hi guys, I'm Sam, welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to write a Midwest emo riff. I want to write it in the style of like American Football and Mineral. Kind of want to take elements from their songs that inspire me and make something that sounds a little bit like myself, but also sounding like American Football. So let's get into it. I once heard Midwest emo described as bands with a really talented guitarist and a really crap singer. So with that in mind, I'm going to have to put some extra work into the guitar lines today. The riffs are usually built up of arpeggiated guitar parts in alternative tunings like F major or like open G or some other wacky ones, I don't know. I'm going to stick with good old-fashioned dad-gad because it's a tuning I'm more familiar with. It's more of a folky fingerstyle kind of tuning, but it will still give me that wistful, emotional white boy pain vibe I'm going for. So I've got a chord progression of C, E, and D, and I've worked out some arpeggiated parts that will like hopefully give it that twinkly Midwest emo sound. Each time around I'm going to evolve it a little bit just so it builds naturally into the verse. The verse is going to be pretty simple, moving from the C to the E. Making use of those open strings for like more twinkle. Then in the chorus, I'm going to get into a little bit of math rock, but stay solidly in 4/4. I also want to add some reverbed out lead parts just to bulk up the sound and add a little bit of like my own flavor to it. Something like this. Now I'm going to record a demo and make some drums, and then we'll do the bass. I've got something a little bit interesting today for the bass. My friend very kindly let me borrow his 5-string PV bass, which is a lot of fun. So thank you, Dave McLaughlin. I've never played a 5-string before, so it's new territory for me. I'm hoping to utilise that B. I do definitely want to get that B string involved. So for the intro, I was thinking of coming in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play fingers in like the verses and stuff, and then go to a pick for the chorus. I quite like that, so I'm going to go over that a few times and get it down into a proper bass line. For the chorus, I was thinking that reaffirm that I can't quite bend it, so I'm just going to go for the. So for the end bit, I'm going to stick to the plectrum like I am in the chorus. Worked out a part like this. This is a fun bass to play. This bass is really fun, even for a PV. I think he's had it set up because it fucking feels good to play. Yeah, bass, done.
Guitar.
Don McLean once sang, a long, long time ago, I can still remember, how my emo fringe would blow up by the wind and reveal my receding hairline. But way before that, in 1986, Thrasher magazine would use the phrase emo or emo-core for the first time to describe the new sound of bands in the Washington, D.C. scene. Rites of Spring, Embrace, and Beefeater. The term was not initially accepted, and famously, Ian MacKaye of Embrace, Minor Threat, and Fugazi rejected the term, saying something along the lines of, all music's emotional, especially mine. Get out of my room, Mom. Or something along those lines. While these bands were integral to the emo sound, they had their roots in hardcore and punk rock, and the first actual Midwest emo bands would come out of Chicago and Nebraska. Bands like Sideshow, Friction, Gauge, Captain Jazz, taking that emo sound and making it more melodic. Now, during the 90s, a lot of bands emerged with a more melodic emo sound, and a lot of those bands were from the Midwest, hence the name. Now, I don't think the sound was fully realized until American Football released their self-titled album, American Football. The album combined the sounds of indie rock, math rock, jazz, and personally I think creates the sound that defines the genre. Well, at least for me it does. And their sound led to us writing this track.
So, for the second verse, rather than going back into the main riff of, I was thinking just opening it up a bit. Something like that. Cool, I'm pretty happy with that. So next would be to record some vocals. I don't want to show you that, but essentially I'll sit in this room in the dark with headphones on, repeatedly singing the same lines over and over again until they vaguely sound in tune, and then I will move them till they're precisely in tune. Sue me, you cunt.
Lyrics. Now, often in Midwest emo, the lyrics reflect the singer's emotional state, and there's some great lyrics throughout the genre. Now, I'm not a great lyricist, and if you ask my wife, I'm not good at talking about my feelings either. But regardless, I'm going to try and hobble together some lyrics and sing them, unfortunately, for you. Now, I've said previously, I'm not a singer, but I thought through the aid of pitch correction, I could hopefully not destroy your eardrums. I definitely feel like this track needs a sung melody, even if it is a bad one by me, soz. I think a huge part of Midwest emo is the feeling you get when you listen to it. It's like autumn. It is like the sound of the end of the summer. And it was a long summer. It was the summer where you went to camp for the first time and you met your first girlfriend. And like the summer ended, the relationship ended. And now you're in Nebraska looking at a long winter by yourself watching hentai. I've never been to Nebraska. And that is Midwest emo to me. It is a warm hug on an autumn day. Fuck off, you prat. Look, I'm fucking cringing myself out talking about this. So what I mean to say is, play the fucking track.
She said her words were never meant
Well, there we go. We got through another video. I feel like I definitely made something emo. I don't know if it was from the Midwest, but it was definitely emo. So if you've made it this far through the video, thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. If you could leave a like and subscribe, or even a comment telling me I'm a ginger twat, whatever, I appreciate it. It's very nice of you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.